Hello everyone, welcome to this discussion. I am Ali Mirsepahi. One aspect that intrigued me during the teaching experiences, whether in universities, university colleges, or in my recent practice, was the practice of rote learning or cramming among the students. As a prospective math teacher and someone who has taught math and math-related subjects in various Australian universities and university colleges, I am afraid that cramming is a big problem. I do believe, and this belief is coming from my experience, that to succeed in math, students must practice solving several examples rather than memorize concepts few days before the exam. It's not only about being successful in the exam. It's not about performing well in the exam. It's about their future. For instance, in my pracs, I faced many students, for instance, in grade 8, they passed their maths with B+, but they were not able to apply that knowledge in the current grade. I do believe one of the most important reasons is cramming. Now, let's try to understand what is meant by the term rote learning or cramming. Rote learning or cramming is a kind of memorization by repetition. Yes, you repeat something, then you memorize it. Let's make an example in math. We have got Pythagoras theorem. It says that A2 is equal to B2 plus C2, which A is the side in opposite to the right angle. So just look at the rote learning. It is like this. A2 is equal to B2 plus C2. A2 is equal to B2 plus C2. A is the side in front of right angle. You repeat and you memorize A2 is equal to B2 plus C2. So as you can understand, it's going to be forget just the day after the exam. Do we have alternatives? Yes. There are three alternatives, like associated learning, meaningful learning, and activity learning. For instance, if you as a student want to realize the Pythagoras theorem, the best thing is to gather examples from the most simple one to the hardest one. Then you solve. For the first one, B and C is known and A is unknown. The shape of a right angle triangle can be varied during the several exams, and I promise after the 20th example, you will never forget how to apply this Pythagoras theorem. And even you are going to find some relation between the numbers. 3 and 4 gives us 5, 6 and 8 gives us 10, and etc. etc. So this method will help you to understand it forever, to apply it in next grades. But the cramming will not help you like that. Now, I guess that there is a question in your mind. Is the rote learning always inappropriate and ineffective? Well, the answer is no. That's why I made this slide. Despite the wide criticism associated with rote learning, there are certain instances of learning where it can be used constructively. The examples include mastering periodic tables in chemistry, multiplication table in math, anatomy in medicine, mastering basic statutes and laws, basic formulas in math and science, and many other examples. So we cannot say that rote learning is always inappropriate. There are two important advantages of rote learning. The first one is it enhances students' ability to recall basic facts. The second one is, especially among young learners, it assists in development of foundational knowledge. Now, what are the negative effects of rote learn in learner assessment? First one, causes wrong impression or understanding of the concept. The second one, does not promote the student's ability to create a connection between the previous and new knowledge. The third one, doesn't allow an in-depth understanding of the subject. Learners can easily forget or confuse the concepts that they learned earlier. And the last one is memorization reduces and suppresses creativity as it does not encourage the learner's ability to analyze, think, and solve problems. Before proceeding with this slide, I strongly advise you to watch this 5-minute video in which the narrator explains the approaches in greater depth. You can simply click on that and go through it. But how teachers can discourage rote learning among students? We can go through that video, but in 5 dot points I can mention: encourage learners to start reading earlier and avoid procrastinating, prepare study sessions in advance, encourage learners to condense their notes into simpler forms that they can understand, advocate for group studies and discussions among learners to promote better understanding of the content. To summarize, rote learning has a detrimental effect on the quality of learning assessments and students' achievement. Some of the effects of rote learning to the students' achievement include lack of creativity, poor conceptualizations, learner confusion, and inability to create connection between different sources of information. However, rote learning can be useful in some aspects of learning, such as mastery of elements in the periodic table, mastery of formulas in math and science, creating foundation knowledge, and recalling basic facts. Teachers should discourage their learners from applying rote learning except in only few instances. Rote learning can be reduced by advocating for bit-by-bit reading, proper planning, encouraging group work, and making summary of class notes. I do appreciate the opportunity to present for you today. Have a lovely rest of your day.